Hi Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 16th to the 22nd. Let's get right into things. So the way this video is going to work is I'm going to start off with the astrology. Very important context. So hang out for that. If you really don't want to, I'm time stamping below. If you want to skip forward to, I'm going to throw down cards for general messages, and then I'm going to separate for relationship and then pull some cards at the end for those in separation with some other oracles at the end. So I'm going to timestamp for all the different segments of the video at the end. But the astrology, I just feel like it's just so powerful right now, right? I mean, we're just coming off of this Lionsgate conjunct that new moon in Leo. We have coming up this week, we have the full moon in Aquarius sitting opposite that Leo sun on the 22nd. We have to talk about that. We have to talk about Uranus turning retrograde on the 19th. That's really important. A lot of things are going on this week. So let's pull some cards and then we'll work in how it's actually going to be specifically impacting your archetype. Remember, I don't know you or your personal chart, but I do know the archetype of Taurus. So we'll talk about the houses that a lot of these energies are going to be hitting in, and you take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. Okay, let's see, what else are we doing here? Truth be told, spirals of manifestation. Oh, beautiful. I like it. Good stuff, good stuff. So we have this, the full moon energy in Aquarius, which is happening in your 10th house, which is also where Saturn and Jupiter retrograde are hanging out. That's going to be working with your 4th house of home, roots, family, self-care, emotions, foundation, children, your literal home, your metaphorical ability to, that metaphorical home space, your ability to feel safe and secure in something. But this full moon energy, light is being shown. Light is being shown for sure. So let's first talk about, let's go back up a little bit, right, to the beginning of the week. We have the 16th, we have Venus entering Libra. And I talked about this in the extended relationship read I did for August, but for those of you who didn't catch that, what does it mean when Venus is in Libra? It's a nice energy. Venus in Libra is definitely, we're far more inclined to be charming and fair rather than aggressive, right? And it's kind of like that's the vibe that we're going for. You know, because like Venus in Libra literally lives for relationships, right? And like that's just the way it goes. But here, we really are going to be feeling very focused on things being done the right way. And we're going to be very turned off by any sort of aggressive, any kind of unfair behavior. The shadow side of this energy can be dependency and consistency, and even like an element of superficiality. And I did mention this in that long relationship read. You want to be mindful of not acquiescing to things just to avoid confrontation, just to avoid not dealing with something. You don't want to sort of go along with what either a business partner, an intimate partner, a family member wants to go on. You know, if it's not speaking to you viscerally, it's only going to become more of an issue later on. So just make sure that you're checking that you feel that your emotional needs are being met in the situations that you're dealing with, okay? It's very important there. And then on the 18th, we have Jupiter forming a semi-square to Chiron. Now, even though this is kind of a minor aspect, it's pretty subtle, I think it's worth mentioning because it can, it's going to make us feel very, very hungry for meaning and understanding, but it can be difficult to align ourselves with the exact personal philosophy or belief system that honestly reflects our core. We're all going to be feeling it, right? But we're all going to be feeling it a little bit of different ways. So you're going to be feeling this between your 12th house of your subconscious and your long-term goals. So you may be in the space, Taurus, where you're just like, at the end of the day, you know, I'm getting up, I'm working my day, but you know, I'm not sure what I actually want for my future. How am I actually feeling about where I am now? Where do I really want to go? And the thing is, with this energy, we're all very susceptible to being led astray by beliefs and ideas right now. So you want to be careful of that, especially if you're experiencing in your particular life any sort of crisis of faith when it comes to your long-term goals, right? And just make sure that you're not blindly following something that doesn't really serve your overall purpose, right? Just kind of gotta go within right now is definitely a good way to go. Particularly, guys, this Uranus retrograde energy, honestly, this is a cycle of desire to make changes in our lives that can turn, really it's about going inward, right? And looking at where do we feel like we've been holding ourselves back, or being really honest with situations that we're in where we're feeling held back. Because we're going to want to live more spontaneously. We're going to want to live more authentically right now. And we're at the same time, though, we're going to be kind of less overtly rebellious, because Uranus is very outwardly rebellious when it's station direct. But in retrograde, it's like, okay, I'll feel a little more inclined to follow the rules, do what I have to do. But there's definitely this internal shift that you're feeling this directional change in your life. There's no question, especially on the heels, again, of Lionsgate, conjunct that new moon energy in Leo. Now we have this full moon in Aquarius on the 22nd, and this is very, very much, and keep in mind, like the Leo sun is very proud, very intensely individual, very focused on self and what self likes to do. It's very me-based energy. But that Aquarius moon sitting across the wheel values independence, yes, but wants to also recognize others, like a very we-based energy. So it's this idea of me versus we tension in life, and you have this between your 4th and 10th house. So a lot of you are going to be, thinking about, how at home do I feel in my own home? Do I feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure? Is it time to leave? Maybe you are leaving. Maybe things are coming to fruition as far as selling your home or moving, something like that. Others of you, it's going to be really thinking about that long-term goal, that career, that your public reputation, your standing in the world, right? So it's something that what the funny thing with the full moon is, I'm going to tell you, is very funny. We could feel these, and you guys are going to be feeling this very much when it comes to your long-term goals. This sudden burst of epiphanies, and you're going to be very prone to proclaiming things that seem fresh and new. I just realized this. I just had this light bulb moment, right? But meanwhile, all of these things have been hanging in the ethers of your mind. They just haven't been rationalized yet. Right? And this is definitely a time of waking up, that you need to make changes, but you need other people in your changes as well, because Aquarius energy is very much about recognizing others. So this energy is going to affect all of us, but especially those born with personal planets and points at around 26 to 30 degrees of the fixed signs, which would be you, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, or 0 to 4 degrees of the mutables, which would be Gemini, Virgo, Sag, or Pisces. Most significantly, we're all going to be feeling it, but that most significantly, we're going to be feeling it there. And then that later that day, the sun's entering into Virgo. So a couple of things why this particular week is very interesting, or I think this full moon. This full moon in Aquarius is happening very late in Aquarius. It's at 29 degrees and 37 minutes. It's so cuspy to Pisces that our dreams and what it is that we want to bring to ourselves, and are we going to martyr ourselves if we continue in something? Are we going to end up feeling victimized? Is this the right thing? All of these energies can be brought up to the surface, because this is happening so cuspy between Aquarius and Pisces, right? And then later on in the 22nd, the sun popping into Virgo, we're all going to be far more focused on the details of our lives, right? And for you, you're going to be focused on the details of all 5th house energies. So the details of romance, love affairs, how you play, what you do for fun, the idea of children, whether it's fertility, like having children, or something going on with your kids, or even a lot of focus on great energy, guys, for those of you who are looking to launch something, work on your own business, work at leveling it up, really good. Virgo is all about Virgo is the landlord of the house of day-to-day work, right? It's about being of service, and in the 5th house of creativity. It's a really nice energy right now for you guys to focus on developing a business plan, for those of you who are in that space. But there's definitely this shift, right? There's definitely this fundamental shift. So let's see what the oracles have to say for you regarding this particular time. We have spirals of manifestation, and that's being clarified by truth be told, clarified by cycles. So we have cycles and spirals. So there's definitely like this energy where you're going into this new cycle. There's no question here, right? There's no question. And especially because, guys, you have Sagittarius, the South Node energy, hanging in your 8th house of cycles, of endings and beginnings. And wherever Sagittarius falls in our chart right now, there are going to be changes between now and the end of the year, because there needs to be a release. There needs to be a sacrifice, a change in the way that we've been doing things, a change in our belief system when it comes to anything that has to do with merging, whether it's sex, intimacy, shared finances, dealing with an inheritance situation, any sort of tax situation, loans, assets, any sort of joint ventures, anything having to do with your partner's resources, anything like that. There's going to be this idea of there's a change in the cycles of what's going on in your life right now. And whatever change is happening is going to raise your vibration. So who doesn't love that? But it's just about recognizing that whatever shift is happening in your life right now, and only you know what is. Life is cyclical, but some things are more overtly obvious as cycles within patterns of relationships, friendships, family situations, work. Looking at all of these things and being really honest with yourself as you go into this next phase, because you are starting this new cycle of something. We have two energies here that indicate that, right? That indicate cycles. So we have focus on the light. So focus on the light of a situation, not the dark, not the negative. And what I mean is like focus on the potential of something. Focusing on the potential of something. Time to go from something. Family and tribe. Strengthen your gifts. Wow, this is really powerful, center row. So cycles are just that, because something, what is a cycle, right? A cycle is just not the same thing going round and round, right? There's always the ending of something and then something else being grabbed to incite that next cycle. So here you're being asked to focus on the positive something, focus on your strengths, focus on that. For a lot of you, when it says family and tribe, your people, that could have to do with your literal family, your close friendship, your close family connections, whoever you consider to be family. It's not always blood, obviously, but we have that clarifying time to go. So some of you may be realizing that you need to love that family member from afar. You need to give a rest to some sort of friendship, like something, if something doesn't feel like it's working out, don't fully engage with it. That's how it's going to manifest for others of you. For some of you, this is this recognition that you want to focus on the positive in your life, leave whatever is toxic, ask your family and friends for help, and work on strengthening whatever energy that you're in need of strengthening, right? And really it's as simple as that. Now, for some of you, because we have Scorpio sitting in your 7th house, you could be going through a very intense period when it comes to anything having to do with relationships, marriage, business partnerships, anything having to do with contracts. You could be feeling very intense in your interpersonal style right now as well when it comes to any of these areas. But Scorpio, also being ruled by Pluto, is about endings and beginnings, right? Wherever Pluto and Scorpio are sitting in our chart, there's meant to be change. There's got to be some sort of change in that particular area, right? So it's very important to understand. So you're changing in your belief system because Pluto's sitting in your 9th house of your personal philosophy, your moral code, your higher education, your higher mindedness, right? So there's changing in your belief system. And there also does seem to be this sort of change in this rebirthing when it comes to something going on because of a contract. Guys, this can manifest as you signing contracts and ending that lawsuit, signing the contracts, and you finally own that house, signing the contract and fill in the blank. Or it could have something to do with your marriage partnership. So not to be all over the place, but I want to give you as many of the messages, that I'm getting for the general collective. And sometimes they come quick. So I hope you're catching whatever resonates. So we have the idea of collaborative dreaming, very Aquarian energy, because this is about thinking about the potential of something, but you're not doing it alone. Okay? You're not doing it alone. So that collaborative dreaming is being clarified by message in the bottle, which means pay attention to your emotions. Pay attention to what's going on inside of you. Excellent energy with Uranus retrograde. Pay attention to your dreams right now. We're going to be feeling a lot popping in our dreams. And because you have Chiron retrograde in Aries in your 12th house of your subconscious, of the hidden, there's going to be so much healing energy where there's going to be a lot of healing in realizing where you've limited yourself thus far in your life. And this is about getting very deep in touch. That message in the bottle is very much a 12th house energy. Getting in touch with that and realizing What do you want to do? What do you want to get into in your life, Taurus? Do you want to go into business with somebody? Do you want to change direction? Do you want to work with a certain group of people? Do you want to be in a different relationship? Do you want to work more proactively on the relationship that you're in? Do you want to fix that family situation? Whatever it is, right? Focusing on how you're feeling and focusing on your dreams. For those of you who do remember your dreams a lot, just saying, right? Because whenever we have a retrograde energy in that 12th house, we do tend to remember our dreams a lot more. But it depends what else you have in your house, in your houses. And then we have message in the bottle is being clarified by alchemy, which is begin to explore. Oh, I love this, because alchemy is a kind of a blending energy. You want to think temperance, the temperance card. You want to think the magician card, right? It's like, what do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? What's necessary? Let me do this, let me do this, let me do this in order to manifest something in the best possible way. And you're really looking at that, beginning to explore in a very open and honest way. You're looking to explore. By strengthening your gifts, all of this is going to end up raising your vibration, leaving the toxicity, recognizing that working with people in life is a good way to go. This is not a time to focus on the me, but more about the we. So that's what we have for that. So now let's just throw down some cards and see what we get. Okay. Use this. So these are going to be general messages for our Taurus friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, having to do with love, career, a money situation, a family situation, maybe something going on with a friend. 10 of Wands. Yeah. So this, for certain, I'm getting, this is more confirmation that there is this energy of needing to let go of something once and for all. Wow. 10 of Wands, Tower, and the 3 of Swords. Something that was painful to you. Some sort of betrayal, like letting it go. We have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is overwhelmed. Overwhelmed, responsibilities, burdened, overload of demands, having a lot on your head, you know, on your heart from the past, the situation, a heavy situation that's going on, but you're also busy in your day-to-day. Not, you know, not the easiest energy. Some of you may also be in a space where your relationship is being neglected right now because of other things going on in life, and it's like you guys are like two ships and you're feeling the strain of that, but there's really nothing that you could do. So depending on, you know, because there are things going on in your life right now that could be for some of you that you're not able to focus on the relationship in the way that you would really like. Now that's being clarified by the 7 of Wands. And 7 of Wands is a Mars and Leo energy, right? And this is about obstacles, right? But you having what's necessary to overcome whatever challenge you're dealing with. Your morality and your personal philosophy are going to be very, very important for you right now. And I do feel like that for a lot of you, those things are changing because you have Pluto and Capricorn in that 9th house of your philosophy, right? Of your ethics and the way you approach things. So this is very much like a line drawn in the sand. This is what I can concede to. This is what I can't. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like this is what I'm willing to do, what I can't, what I'm not willing to do. Clarifying that is the 10 of Cups. So it's like, what I like about this is facing head on. This 10 of Wands being clarified by the 7 of Wands is facing head on something that's troubling you, and you saying, all right, look, I have to stick with what I feel is right, and you doing that and it going really well for you, because then we have the 10 of Cups. This is about contentment, benefit of security. So you're going to relate it to your life however you see fit. This could be a family energy. This could be a great time for family or partnership. Whatever you've been working hard on, finally coming together in all areas. So whether it's maybe communication within your relationship or with a friend, a family member, romance, something with your business, anything with family, it's fab, fab, fab. And look at that. Stop it now, Taurus. You got the world. This is awesome. Best card in the deck. Best card in the deck. It's a Saturnian energy because you've been there, done that. Right? You got the t-shirt to prove it. You learned the lesson, right? The world is about learning the lesson and then taking that wisdom and moving forward. So you're recognizing what you need in order to be happy. And what that is not something, this thing that needs to be let go, that thing is getting in your way. And you're going to be recognizing this with this Uranus retrograde energy, like I mentioned before in the beginning of the video. Anyway, so we have, yes, moving away from the toxicity. Chariot is about, all right, see you later. This is a Cancer energy. But in astrology, but in numerology, this is the Tower. And the Tower is about, there's got to be some sort of necessary surrender. There's realization coming to light, right? But recognizing that something is more toxic than you even realize. It's almost like the curtains are parting, the red flags are all out in their glory, and you could see everything for what it is, and you're like, hell no, I'm moving on from this. This is about manifesting. So this has to do with money, quick changes, and progress in any sort of business situation. Anything, whatever you're trying to push forward or going, it's about bringing something to fruition. But whatever it is, it's going to be very exciting, and it's going to bring a very positive change to you, to your finances. You're going to have to work really hard on something, and that's okay. You guys are Taurus energy. You're not afraid of that, okay? But you're going to have to work hard on something. If it has to do with that, if it has to do with a relationship, this is some sort of relationship situation being expedited, right? Now, I do feel like for some of you, because when we get the Chariot, we always have to look at the cards surrounding it with relationship, particularly for those of you who are learning how to read cards, right? I mean, so we have the Ten of Wands, the Tower, and the King of Cups. So the King of Cups really is about this need to settle some sort of conflict, either within yourself or with somebody else. The Tower, after the Chariot, guys, this is like getting a double tower. Something's got to go. Something either has to be released from your soul, from the past that you're still carrying with you. You have to get out of that relationship that's toxic. You have to end that family situation. If it's making you feel all twisted, something has got to go that's overloading you. There's got to be change here, and only you know what it is, right? Because there's got to be this movement away from the toxicity. You can't have it anymore. And then we have the Lover's energy. Lover's energy is Gemini, and this is about choices. So for some of you, you're making a decision. You're not going to do that job anymore. You have choices, and you want to exercise your choices. You just want to make sure that you're not doing a particular job just because of the money. You want to make sure that it speaks to you as well. Something that you're going to be able to grow in. It's the only thing when this has to do with a career or a money situation. For others of you, if this has to do with relationship, it's recognition that there is some sort of imbalance in the situation that needs to be reckoned with, reasoned with, and balanced out. Because in numerology, the Lover's energy is actually the devil, and that's all about being shackled because of whatever, fill in the blank, addiction, anger issues, trouble regulating a personality, something like that, anything like that. But it's this need for recognition of wherever the imbalance is, and saying to each other, look, if we're going to work this out, we can't make believe that that imbalance doesn't exist. We can't make believe that that's not an issue. The only way that we're going to be able to work this out is if we, shine the floodlight on it, call it what it is, and work on it from there. Whether it means pulling it down in order to rebuild something, or just saying, look, we have to realize, if we're not both in this together, we gotta go. Right? Something's got to go. If everybody's not on the same page. And this is not only having to do with relationship. This is in any area of your life. If you're in a situation that's challenging, and you're going to know what that is, and that person's not wanting to play nice in the sandbox with you, if they want to do their own thing, and you know that you're not going to be able to effectively and in a healthy way address the situation, it's time to go. It's time to go. Clarifying the Lover's energy, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So for those of you resonating with this as far as a job, if you're changing jobs, I have to tell you, very nice energy. I really like it. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. You're not there yet, but your hard work is definitely going to pay off. You have to be patient. There's a lot of potential for success, whatever you're getting into. So whatever your situation is, again, don't give up. You're almost there. Your future self is going to thank you. But this idea of Saturn and Taurus, right? That's what we're talking about here. So if we connect that to relationships, Saturn is about restriction and structure and delay and feeling this harness, right? And these challenges. in Taurus. So to me, this could indicate that some of you, if you're coupled, there are a lot of problems having to do with money, or there's a lot of problems in feeling wholly so connected in the relationship, because that's what Taurus is. It's a pentacle energy. Pentacles doesn't only indicate money, it also indicates mental, physical, emotional connection. And because it's the landlord of the second house, we're looking at how do we feel being in this situation. Do we feel good about ourselves in it, right? Remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So you're willing to be patient, and only if you feel good about being in something. You're willing to be patient for something to manifest, for something to come along, as long as it's something that's going to end up making you feel good, that's going to bring you to where you want to go, right? So this King of Cups energy, as I mentioned a few moments ago, does indicate to me that there's a need to settle some sort of conflict. Now, the conflict could be within yourself, or the conflict can be with another. It doesn't really matter. But this is really about following your heart. This is Libra and Scorpio energy, right? You have to follow your heart. And when I say that, it means like make sure your emotional needs are being met as you transition and as you go through some sort of change that's going on for you. And make sure you're doing it in a way where you're communicating what you need to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. The Queen of Cups is a Gemini and Cancer energy in astrology, right? So this is, recognize you want to love something. You want to love it. You want to love the person that you're with. You want to love the situation that you're in. You want to love the job that you're in. You want to love the home that you're in. And this is about being really emotionally honest with yourself and saying, do I feel grounded, safe, and secure in this? Or is it time for me to learn something new? And a lot of you are sort of going to be in that space. And you're going to be kind of going back and forth. Do I want to learn? Because Gemini is all about learning something new, right? And Cancer is about home. Right? So for a lot of you, Gemini also rules your neighborhood and your neighbors. So some of you are like, oh, with Cancer, I want to move. I don't like being where I am anymore. Some sort of stressful situation could be going on around the sale of a home or the purchase of a home. And you're feeling like, oh my God, this is never going to change. Why does this keep going on, right? This is about self-imposed limitation and feeling trapped, thinking things aren't going to change, and that creating an anxiety, right? You're feeling like, I just don't belong in this situation anymore. I have to get out of that job. I don't feel like I belong in that job anymore. I don't feel like I belong living there anymore. It's almost like fill in the blank, that relationship, that friendship, whatever it is. I'm getting very much a feeling like outgrown. It's like you feel like you've outgrown a situation. And it's you want it. You would still like it in your life, but you can't exist in it anymore the way that it's been, because you're growing. And if something's not growing with you, you're just not going to be able to find that sense of alignment. And clarifying that, we have the Three of Swords. This is about heartbreak and pain. It's a card of pain. So for some of you, this could be the pain of a truth. For others of you, this could be a feeling of betrayal. Some of you just feeling really depressed about something. Some of you very directly might be finding out from a doctor that you have some sort of heart issue going on. It's a minor arcana. So this is something that you can get past, something that you just need to safeguard, like a circulatory, blood pressure, angina kind of jam like that. It could be for some of you. But others of you, whatever it is that you're feeling very confused about, the lights come on. The confusion's gone. And now you're in a position where you're at least able to move on from the pain of a situation to begin some real healing. Now, you might be the one inciting the pain. Somebody else might be the one inciting the pain. The energy like this could be vice versa. But a lot of times, even if you're the one to make the decision to end something, it's still very painful. For others of you, you may be dealing with some sort of betrayal at work or with a family member or something like that. But it's the knowing, at least you know what you're dealing with, that you're going to be able to move forward in a particular situation in a way that's good for you. So that's what we have for the general messages. I hope that was helpful in some way. And now let's pull for those of you in, what do I want to use? In relationship. And then I'll pull, after this, I'll pull for those of you in separation. So however you resonate with the situation, let's pull a Celtic cross spread for those of you in relationship. Six of Pentacles. Okay. Well, it looks like somebody wants to be happy with you, Taurus. It certainly does, right? We have the sun energy here representing other. We have in the recent past coming into this energy, the King of Wands, Cancer and Leo energy. This is you just really wanting to be a free spirit, and being in touch with what you really want, right, in relationship. A lot of you, again, going back to that Scorpio on the 7th, you also have Virgo on the 5th, and the sun is going to be going into Virgo. So a lot of you are going to be doing some very practical, looking at the practical details of relationship. A lot of you guys are going to be doing that, but you want to be careful only in that while this does indicate you are coming into the space, expressing your ideas, going after what you want, all of that, there could have been a potential for you allowing the idea that something needed to be a little too perfect, and that could end up getting in the way. Either you feeling like you need to be too perfect, they need to be too perfect, a situation needs to be too perfect, something needs to be perfect, and that ends up getting in the way. Something is perfect, however it is, it does seem like, is being told to me to say to you. Something that you were recognizing there, because right now, while you have the Six of Pentacles going on in your energy. The Six of Pentacles is this focus on property, family, generosity, support. I have your back, you have mine, helping each other out with money. For some of you, dealing with either you or your partner, money coming to either you or your partner. Somebody offering you support right now, but it is this idea, I have your back, you have mine kind of thing, right? It's that Moon and Taurus energy, Moon and you energy, right? Your emotions, right? The Moon having to do with money and work and income and daily routines and values and things that matter, right? And feeling very emotional about that, but in a way where you're in the space where you want there to be reciprocity in this area. But the challenge is with this Five of Pentacles energy, Five of Pentacles is feeling like tested. So this could be a testing of resources, a testing of financial issues, or at least the fear of that. You might just be afraid of money right now when it comes to relationship. Others of you may be afraid that you don't have the deep connection that you really think is necessary for a relationship to happen. So some of you may be in that space as well, because the Five of Pentacles is this feeling of lack. Some of you may be dealing with the pain and the aftermath of a breakup or somebody passing, and that's challenging you to be able to actually move on. Some of you may be in that space. You do always have more support than you realize, though, with this energy. It's a very internal psychological energy here. So you have the basis of the situation is the Three of Pentacles, which is all about, it's Mars and Capricorn energy. This is an energy of success. It's an energy of collaboration as well. I always call this the Architect card, right? It's like coming in and sort of designing where it is that you want to go, right? So this could have to do with maybe you or your partner launching something successfully that ends up positively impacting your relationship, or you and your partner deciding you want to work on your home, or you and your partner deciding you want to sell your home or buy a home, something like that. But it's you guys coming together in a very collaborative way, right? Which is really what it is I see that you want right now, to be able to manifest something, to have that success. Okay, now the current situation, we have the Page of Cups. So Page of Cups is a nice energy in that there's good news about an emotional aspect that's going to end up impacting your relationship. So this could have to do with a new relationship coming in for those of you who are single. This could have to do with money coming to those of you who are coupled, something positive happening within the family. Maybe you find out that you're pregnant, or some sort of joyful event is happening within the family. Those of you who are single, though, this could indicate like a new potential partner is right on the near horizon. You just want to avoid getting too swept up too soon. Just want to be careful of that. This person can be very sensitive, very generous, very artistic, very nice energy. So some of you may be in that space where it's like maybe you're trying to get over a past relationship, right? But you're like, no, I'm ready to meet somebody, and there's somebody right there, right? You're feeling the challenge, but you're still pushing yourself, right? You're still allowing yourself to put it out there, which, you know, I think is good. I mean, look, we're going to have the Sun in Virgo. We'll get Mars in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo. There's going to be a lot of conversation in that fifth house energy for you. And then with Venus in Libra, you're really going to be focusing on feeling better about yourself, just in your day-to-day. And for some of you, that's going to be getting yourself into either a good relationship, right, or leveling your relationship up. The recommended approach here is the Queen of Swords, which is always a good way to go because it has to do with truth, right? But feel motivated right now to find out the truth and the psychological motivation of somebody that you're dealing with, right? I mean, this is a very strong and experienced energy. I always get like a single parent vibe from this. And this is an energy where there's strength in adversity. So if you're in a relationship and you guys aren't completely agreeing in something, try to step back and figure out why somebody is thinking the way they are. Why are they doing what it is that they're doing, right? There's a Virgo and Libra energy, and Virgo is the most critical sign of the zodiac. It's very analytical, right? It's looking at the details of something. And so what is it? You're looking at the details of the relationship because it's in Libra, right? And how fair are things and all of that. And really looking very open-hearted and very honestly at that. Now, the energy that's external to you or other, we have the sun. I mean, this is beautiful. This is about growing a beautiful connection. So this tells me that if you're dealing with somebody, they really want to work out a beautiful, beautiful relationship with you. And you're very focused on that too. But you can't not see the things that need addressing. Your challenge is the Six of Wands. So for a lot of you, the challenge here could be this healthy communication, right? Feeling like you're almost tempted to sort of give up on something or not feeling very confident in how something is going to actually manifest. You might be feeling very blocked in being able to I actually don't think it's going to be you having an issue with sharing your feelings. I just don't think so right now. Just because of, that Mars and Sun and Mercury energy in Virgo in that 5th house. I feel like your communication is going to be popping. It will be. But then again, you have Cancer sitting in your 3rd house, which is the house of communication. So you might be worried about saying something, worried about addressing something in a certain way because you don't want it to upset your ability to feel secure in something, right? Because sometimes, like, when we say something about how we're feeling in a relationship, it's like, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube once it's out, right? I feel like there's something that you want to say or something that you feel like needs addressing that deeply, deeply doesn't feel right to you. Doesn't mean you don't love them if you're in relationship. Doesn't mean you don't want to be in relationship if you're just getting into one. But there's something that needs addressing that is deep, deep down inside of you that you're almost afraid to either look at within yourself or to communicate. But then we have the Knight of Pentacles in the near future. Now, this energy that I'm feeling, that you're feeling deep down inside, Taurus, and only you know the answer to this, but we have in the near future the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be you dealing with somebody who's super loyal and dependable, which is what you like, right? I mean, you're a Taurus energy. I don't know what else is aspecting your chart, but this person has a lot to offer. They could be your rock, right? But they might lack the fill in the blank to capture your heart for the long term in a really satisfying way. Whether that's excitement, whether that's passion, whether that's, because this could also be like maybe they're very slow to share their feelings. Maybe you guys aren't really into doing the same thing, but it depends on what you're looking for, because I feel like this energy is very solid in there for you. So it depends on your age and stage and where you're at in life. Because a lot of people will be like, I'll take boring as long as I know I can count on them. Thank you, right? Others of you are like, I am a Taurus. I am ruled by Venus. Passion matters to me. Somebody who likes to go to good restaurants and, go out and experience Venusian things. That's important to me. So if you have somebody who's not in that space with you, you could be like, okay, they're awesome. I really love so many things about this relationship, but I do feel like that something is missing, right? And then we have the final outcome energy being the Page of Swords. And this is you really giving this a lot of space in your head right now. A lot of space. But this is you realizing something, and whatever it is that you're realizing, there's sort of useful information coming in that's going to help you figure out how you want to move forward with this, right? Which can be a very good thing. Now, some of you may be experiencing this Knight of Pentacles energy as maybe somebody who's just like a little too insensitive and forthright with their words. And it kind of puts you back on your heels a little bit, even though they're a good person in all these other ways. Puts you back on your heels a little bit. You really don't like that quality about them, but that could be an issue that might be, you know, you're going to need to discuss that if that's a thing in the relationship, for sure. King of Swords. Yeah, you need to really just sort of like stay in the mental realm. Don't allow your emotions to get swept up. Make sure you're taking care of your body, your mind, your soul, your finances, being very emotionally intelligent about what's necessary to work something out. So it's sitting down saying, okay, we have to have the conversation about our marriage, our money, our sex life, having a baby. We have to talk about the children, whatever it is, but it's sort of like in a very almost like matter-of-fact way. Ten of Swords, complete and painful ending where there's a history here. But the benefit of the Ten of Swords is whatever's ending, that release is also releasing you from the frustration and the stress of, so even if it's painful, of something that was very challenging. But it's not one thing. It's like a challenging time period because it's 10. It's like one sword at a time, over time, over time. Then we have the Emperor energy clarifying that. This is an Aries energy, ruled by Mars, fresh path, new perspective. So some of you may be in this space where you're like, look, we have to talk about A, B, and C in this relationship, and we have to recognize that needs to be part of our past. We can't keep doing that. Let's sit down and have a really healthy conversation about what we need to move forward. Let's sit down and have a conversation about future plans, and let's discuss these things in a very practical way, right? For others of you, you're making this final decision to just let go of somebody from your past and allow yourself to meet somebody new. Eight of Wands, really good communication. This is really good energy, by the way, for those of you who've been separated, really good for that. Four of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Swords, there's great energy for relationships, getting over any sort of past obstacles and getting what you want. It's very much a thought becoming things energy, but it's only through recognizing this Four of Cups energy, recognizing where do you feel restless in relationship, where do you feel bored, where are you feeling disheartened, maybe even apathetic about relationship, where are you saying, well, I can't be in this because they do this, this, and this, or this, this, and this, and taking ownership and looking. All of those things might be true. They might do all those things, but this Four of Cups always indicates the need that you also need to heal some sort of past unhealed issue that's still bothering you, that something within relationship triggers in you, whatever that is. But looking at that in a very, very honest way. And once you have that, then we have this beautiful Ace of Swords energy, which is auspicious for new beginnings and clear thinking in the relationship, and there being an immediate change to the circumstances for the better. You just want to make sure that you are assertive and not aggressive or overzealous, right? In getting your whatever it is across that you want to get across, only because you have Mars in Virgo. So Mars is that warrior energy, and Virgo is very critical to begin with. So you just went, and you're going to have the sun in there, has that focus, at Mercury, all about communication. So you might find yourself to be a little extra blunt right now in the next couple of weeks, I feel like. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of your audience, right? Okay, my friends. So that's what I have for that. So let's sweep this and pull for those of you who are in separation. Oh, that's always a tough one. It hurts to see online that you've moved on with your life. I'm feeling lost. I don't know what to do about it. I always look for you at airports as if we'd be at the same place in the world. So that's that, always looking for your face in the face of strangers kind of thing. Soulmate. Yeah, I was just going to say, it's kind of like that soul connection kind of energy. Mm-hmm. Okay. I always look for you in airports as if we'll be at the same place in the world, and that's being clarified by soulmate, soul connection. I'm insanely attracted to you. Okay. No explanation needed there, right? It hurts to see you online. It hurts to see online that you've moved on with your life. Lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. The mask has fallen off. Somebody wants to change here. It's either you, it's either them, or it's both of you. I'm feeling lost and I don't know what to do about it. That's being clarified by breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. I'm not the person you remember. All right. So whether you feel like you've changed, they feel like they've changed, maybe you both feel like you've changed a little bit. But there's definitely a lot of emotion that connects you guys. There's no question. Let's pull a couple of right away. 6 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. 7 of Cups. So there's confusion going on here. Somebody still has fire in their belly for you. They are not ready to, even though they might feel very right now, very defensive of how it is that they feel. You may be feeling very defensive about how it is you feel. But there's definitely some desire left, even though you're very tired. You're tired from this. They're tired from this, right? It's this idea of cycles, the 7 of Cups energy, choices and confusion, commitment issues, not sure what's real, what's not. But it's almost like you could feel the beginning stages of something, you know, like right there. We have the 6 of Pentacles, which is very much at the end of the day, you had their back, they had yours until you didn't have that anymore. But it's that energy. Like for some reason here, Taurus, it's like this energy. You felt like, you know, you were able to sort of, they had your back and you had theirs. When things were good, they were great. But there needs to be this recognition where the fissure and the foundation of the relationship was, in order, if you guys are gonna get it back together again. Look, I mean, I definitely see there's confusion. There's still energy left here. There's still emotion, for sure. So it doesn't look like this symphony is over just yet. That's what I'm getting. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you for this week. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.